I do feel like some of us were experiencing this, which is kind of absurd. Like the idea of us, or for example, myself experiencing something like this, it's kind of absurd and funny in a way that it's worth giving concern to. However, I do think it's not that serious. You know, when you experience something like you were in a heated rivalry towards another person, or you just finished quarreling with them, you just finished fighting about something that you've been vested about, and then you feel like you lost against this person during your argument, and then it left you frustrated, it left you regretful, and you hoped that you could have said something better, you could have said something more decent towards that person so that you would have won that argument. I don't know if you've experienced something like that. Oftentimes when I fight with my siblings or something like that, and then we were in this some sort of dumb argument, like it's stupid, but then I was so heated up about it, like it was so serious to me. At some point you started recollecting those conversations that you've had with that person, and then for some reason, like automatically, it's as if it's subconscious, you started visualizing some dialogues that you could have said in the middle of that argument, and you know that if you said that dialogue, very cool dialogue, or that kind of dialogue that you think would thoroughly destroy that other party you were quarreling about, and while you were imagining it, there was some sort of adrenaline within your body. You were in deep to that imagination, to that visual that your mind is projecting. You feel like you were in that argument. You feel like you've gone back through the time, and in your mind started projecting an image of that person. Like he was stuttering. Like he stopped talking out of anger because that other person lost against you. But that's just within your imagination. That version of that person, or for example, you were fighting with your friend, or you were fighting with your sibling, or you were fighting with this classmate at school who you really hated. That version of your classmate inside your head does not actually represent your classmate in real life. This classmate of yours, rather, this version of your classmate inside your head actually represents who you are as well. Because in real life, they could have responded differently. I mean, every one of us were born different. Our character were also different in a way that we would never predict what the others would have done during the situation and that situation, because all of us are independent. We all have independent thinking. We would decide what to do in our own way. We are all smart beings. I don't know if I'm the only one who's experiencing this though, but I do remember seeing one YouTube short. I kind of forgot the actual scenario in that video. Something like POV, a point of view, like blah 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 and something like that. And then I guess I'm not alone. Perhaps I just realized that you wanted that version of that person you were talking with to abide with what you want them to act. You would think that this person in your head would act fearful, would act any sort of attitude that you think, you know, that the other person has already lost the argument. Of course, during that imagination, during that visualization, you already know what was the attitude of that person. Could already imagine what would they do. But your head is still ordering that version of that person to do anything you want them to do, and you just don't realize it. It just happens naturally. I've been experiencing something like this for a while, and I only realized, I don't know if this is actually true. It's just my random realization. I don't know if it's anything important. I don't know if talking about this would waste your time or something. Now that I think of it, like it's really fun to look back into it. It's not that it's fun to look back into a conversation you think would have gone differently if you had said something different, so that the situation would turn into your favor. Thinking about the entire thing, this type of situation, and then thinking about the reason why I think like this, it's a fun thing to think rather than overthinking anything negative.